I don't know if Eric is on the call, but we got the maps fix out for the apostrophes and maps. So that one took forever, but that's out as well. Um, and I think that's it for things that are like you all can see. Internally, we've been making some good upgrades on this Python library that we've been upgrading for an internal service. Um, we did a cleanup of how we do our subscription jobs in the background, so hopefully we will no longer have double charged PLEs. That was a big pain point this past year, so I'm hoping this fix will really help with that. Um, and then we did like a security review of our JavaScript packages just to make sure that like we don't inadvertently cause problems for ourselves. I think I hit everything. I don't know if anybody has any questions about any of that stuff. Okay, I don't see anything. All right, so I'm gonna pass it on to Kermit to give his updates.
Can you just hold on 1 second? Because I TP'd Sarah because you said you fixed something in the map, but I didn't quite catch it. So could you? Because that's her big thing.
Yes. So at the what happened was that there was a bug where certain I think it was certain regions you're not allowed to put apostrophes in for like regions that you make, but there were some that were brought in that were causing issues when like clicking a link. And we had to actually do a server. We had to like fix something that went out with the server update. So that's why it took a little while to get out, but I think that should be resolved. Okay. Yeah, fixed, so it's working. All right, so I think Kermit, I'll let you take the mic.
Yeah, I'll paste in some more details, but kind of teased it last time we were here, but we do have a new subscription type that's coming out in the next few weeks. We've taken everything, all the benefits of Premium Plus, and you can opt out of the sign-up bonus and stipend for a much lower cost. So this will be applicable to anyone who's on the fence of trying to upgrade from other tiers, or if you make Linden dollars in your daily business and you don't need a stipend, you can opt out of it for a lower cost. And all the other benefits of Premium Plus are preserved. So that is the thing that we're pretty excited about, that we've been working on pretty hard for the last little bit of time. And I posted a blog link there, which goes into a little bit more details. It kind of shows off some of the UI that we've been able to tease as well. So yeah, really excited to share that with you all.
Really is an awesome thing to have the subscription without the stipend because, as you say, designers and people that earn Lindens in World never really needed the money aspect of it, but were paying for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I fully agree. Quick question. You say it's an opt-out feature. That means that us who are currently Premium Plus already, we would have to switch our subscription. Correct? We would have to manually switch between them, or?
Yes, that's correct. And the way that we've designed it is each way within Premium Plus, with stipend or without, will be treated as an upgrade. So you'll be able to receive the benefits of a stipend pretty immediately, or reduce and remove your stipend right away. And the change there will be if you have a credit at the end based on math and proration, your renewal date will change.
Oh, sweet. All right, thanks.
She'd come up with this before we went Lifetime Premium Plus, though.
Guess it brings up a good question. With Sassy being a Lifetime Premium Plus member, does she continue receiving the stipend?
Yeah, we're not changing anything
Oh, right, yeah.
with any of the Premium Plus with stipend.
She stays lucky that way, yeah.
Of course.
Well, our price was based on that. Like we paid, I think it was 8
Oh, yeah.
to 9 years worth of
Yeah.
in advance. Yeah. So are we answering these questions? Is that what you need us to do?
I don't know if Sntax wants to jump in, but yeah, that's his section.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Not well.
Loud and clear.
That's not a good sign. Wait, loud and clear or not loud and clear?
Maybe a little too loud and clear.
1 second.
Oh, I had previously turned you down.
Me too.
Oh.
I just realized that too. Syntax was really loud back in an old
okay,
mic or
okay.
something. No. It was a mic issue back in the day. He was red banding.
Yeah, it's right on the red line, but like I hear it loud and clear. I say it's good.
Yes, Sntax, I think you're good.
Yeah, I think you're good too.
Oh, I just lost his
he's
dot.
in
I
settings.
turned my
yes.
voice down so I'm not as loud. So if you turned me down
There we go.
personally, you might have to turn me back up.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, so I know it's been quite some time since we've chatted. Luckily, I have many other Lindens who can pop in and keep things going. I actually had a child recently, so I was out on leave. So I've just been out of office for a little while, but I am back now. I do have some questions I'd like to ask people, especially people who have been creators or merchants. But if you haven't been either one of those, I would still love your perspective. So the first question I have, and it's kind of a twofer, is well, let's start with this one. Do you think that almost every item in Second Life has the permission of no transfer? And if you had to like give me a percentile, that'd be really helpful. Like, oh, I think probably 80% of items in Second Life are no transfer, for example.
I think that's a good estimation of 80 something, but you've got Gacha back now, so there's a lot of content floating around that's that's transferable.
%90. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I would say definitely 80, 90%, something like that. It's for sure the majority, yeah.
Why do most people make items permission no transfer?
Because customer service is very difficult with transferable items. And it also is because transferable and copy are the problem. If somebody breaks something, they haven't got another version of it. In the olden days when we used to be able to actually edit things, or had to edit a belt to fit around your waist, or edit prims to fit.
Oh, that's modify.
You
And
could
he's talking
break
about
them.
transfer.
Oh, but copy. If you don't have a copy, you can't modify it. I mean, you can, but you break it. The customer service is what I'm talking about. So if they've got an item that is no copy because it's transferable, but you break it, then the person selling it has to deal with it. So it was a lot of customer support badness that resulted in everything becoming no transfer so that it could be copyable.
I would definitely
Right.
say it's got to do with some profitable ventures. Comparing a no copy item versus a no transfer item, I would say that there's more to consider with the no copy item. If you modify it, you've only got that one copy. Whereas with the no transfer item, you can modify it as much as you please. If something that a lot of people come to SL for is simply to modify and create. So it becomes the more wished for, as it allows people to still modify things.
And it used to be a cash grab for items to be transferable that shouldn't have been, such as the waves. That was a huge cash grab. Plants, trees, things like that, where people were selling one individual tree. So you would have a whole region and you would have to actually buy 50 trees. And then if you lost one, if you didn't pick it up, or there was a back in the old days when things used to crash and you would lose whole areas of your region, you'd have to go out and buy it again. But dances, poses, things like that, so that people wouldn't res multiple pose balls on a region, they sold them individually. It was all just seen as gatekeeping and money grabbing.
I'm also thinking in terms of no copy versus no transfer. A lot of friends of mine, they purchase a lot of furniture and decoration, landscape and whatnot. They are still able to share it in one way or another by resting it down on the ground and allowing modifying rights to like edit perms. So with a no transfer item, as long as you know somebody who knows somebody, you can still, get to utilize this item. Whereas contrary to that would be, why don't people just sell everything full perm? I feel like that's a whole different discussion in itself, right? So the primary way of, making it a profitable venture becomes making it no transfer, as that way people are more inclined to everybody purchasing their own copy versus, a single copy being passed around.
There used to be tricks to it with the way you boxed things. So sorry, Sntax. There used to be a trick that if you put no transfer items inside a box and then the box was transferable, but the way you picked it up and set the permissions meant that if they then resed the box, it automatically became non-transferable. So you could gift the item to somebody, and then when they resed it to unpack it, they got the transfer. And it was a bug that people used in a way for gifting, but then that also had problems and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah, so funny you should mention gifting. That was a use case I was thinking through too, is that it's probably hard to gift someone something if it's no transfer. So I'm curious, what would need to change where you'd be more willing to make something permission transfer? Like, let's say you have a store in the marketplace and you've got a bunch of items that you're selling on there. Is there anything out there that could change, that would change your mind on having that, or do you think that that's really something that's just a deal breaker for you?
It's unless it's gacha, which is in the spirit of being able to share things around, which then became a resellers market. It's really not that necessary. We have vending systems that allow us to gift. We have marketplace that allows us to gift. Some people do put on events around Christmas time where the items are actually sold as transfer for that, all the feelings and stuff of that. But it really doesn't kind of matter. Because the person that you're gifting to then ends up with a no copy item, and they're really hesitant to res it because if there's a problem or they can't modify it because there's a problem, it's not that popular a need. I've done customer service for nearly 20 years in SL, and people don't really shout about things being transfer anymore. In 2006, 7, 8, it used to be a thing, not so much now.
I'm also trying to think in terms of the whole no copy versus no transfer procedure in terms of products, and it's a very tricky thing. The thing is, making a no transfer is a very permanent thing, and making a no copy is a permanent thing. So I'm trying to think of alternatives, and I've seen from a different game called RuneScape. I believe RuneScape has it, where you are able to rent out products. Simply rent it out, so it's like a temporary transfer. I believe that might open up the possibilities of more people opting in for some sort of transfer, even if it is a temporary transfer. But other than that, other than like a temporary kind of rental thing, I think it boils down to the whole no copy versus no transfer thing.
Even with copy botting and stuff like that, you have a rule at Linden Lab that rolling back a region, I've had a store that their whole region crashed out and everything was returned, and a lot of items weren't and went missing, and they asked for their region to be rolled back. And because they had because they had transferable gacha items decoring their region, they were declined. And so you didn't give them a rollback because you gave value to something being a gacha item.
Okay, yeah, good feedback. Okay, so next question. 1 second. Okay, so in that sort of vein of like when I was talking about like gifting, I've been thinking through like how merchants might attract new customers, and things that people have told me before that they do is they'll literally like name something item and then gift at the end, and then that item is transferable, and then you go and you get the gift as like a way to attract new people to your store, just as an example. So I'm curious, like from the group, what are some strategies that you use to attract new customers to your store, or even be more specific would be how do you attract new residents? So somebody who's like been here for maybe a few months or something like that, or a few weeks. What are some strategies you might use?
Never seen a gift be a gift from a store. I've never seen a gift from a store be transferable. Never's a hard word. I mean, 20 years, but it's not common at all. I'm not sure where that's happening, because that would just stop anybody from getting all the traffic that they want. I could go there and get 50 copies of something and then give it to all my alts and all my friends and not go to your store at all.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Generally speaking, they want feed on the region, so it wouldn't be transferable. But promotions, things like, store credit. If you visit the store, you can get store credit. There can be group gifts in the store, sales, etc. But we really want the sales functionality on Marketplace.
There's also, I want to bring up a good example. The Void recently released a store gift, which is this cat that does some dancing animations and flashes some flashy colors to some music. From their spec of things, it's an easy job. It's something that takes a minimal amount of time. Where the key comes in is that it's based upon a meme. And with the impact of social media, how fast things they develop on social media, I feel like that is a great way to not just attract new customers in general, while also satisfying all the customers, obviously, but also attracting a hipper, younger crowd, so to say, in SL, the newer people who just jumped off of social media and saw these funny memes, and suddenly can relate to that in worlds with how they get to hold this meme cat of sorts, and that was a free gift they gave away, because from their experience it's a minimal amount of work for them to synchronize some effects with some music and whatnot. So that I feel like that's a great example of a gift that appeals to everybody.
So I saw that one of the replies in chat was that you do 50% off for a limited time or less. How I know like right now doing sales at Marketplace is not very easy. But if you do some sort of like discount or store credit for new residents or new people who come to your store, like how do you do that right now?
The vending systems have it inbuilt. For instance, I've got a store credit terminal at Shop and Hop as my gift. I'm usually against that as an idea because I like to make an item, but we've just opened our in-world store recently after having no in-world store for a couple of years. So I want the traffic. So I've done a gift store credit this round of Shop and Hop, and a lot of the stores at Shop and Hop do the store credit. So you get this, you click the terminal, it gives you store credit to your account, and then you go and visit the store to spend it.
Okay, great.
If I may, just a quick PSA for Sassy's suggestion, because I remember at a shopping hub a couple of years ago, and there was an exact store who did something like that. They gave away gift cards to new people, and I'd like to make a PSA real quick about that, because this particular store, what they did was they did give away gift cards to free members. Very nice idea, right? Problem is they made these gift cards transfer. At which point the store became incredibly popular, but for the wrong reasons, as alternative accounts would start flooding in, grabbing hundreds of gift cards and start handing these out, right? So I wouldn't suggest this for a up and coming store, like a new starting store, as there is potential mistakes to be made. But like definitely for a built store, a store with some expertise, absolute great idea. Yeah, for sure.
You don't do it as a gift card. Gift cards, yeah, you wouldn't do it as that. They'd set their perms wrong. I know the store you're talking about. She went mental. But it's store credit is different, and you set it up to give it to only one time. So I've had somebody click a second time, and it gives me an alert that they were declined for the second hit. But that can also just happen because of lag, or you're not sure that you definitely clicked it. But there are securities in place with the vendor systems to not be abused, and Shop and Hop will actually say give it as store credit, don't give it as a gift card. Do that with Marketplace, Sarah. People will sell things on Marketplace and they will put that it's cheaper in the store if you visit the store, to not give the Lindens the 10% commission.
Okay, cool. Thank you. It was really valuable insight. So the next question I had was, has anyone used the so like right now I'm wearing one of them, right? Used the new avatar welcome pack, and not necessarily like you're wearing the avatar. I'm also interested in people who have either made content with the avatar welcome pack in mind, or have seen somebody using it, or know someone who makes that content. So I'm just looking basically for feedback, if anybody's had experience on it.
Absolutely.
I tried to use it. I tried to res it out onto the floor because I wanted to descript things, and it killed itself.
There are no scripts in the avatar welcome pack, Toothless. You wouldn't have needed to do that.
The legacy light thing that's in the welcome pack.
There's no HUDs. There's no scripts in it.
No, it definitely killed itself when I tried to res it.
Right, but
It
that
might
would be
have
a
changed
Linden
very
thing.
recently.
That might be a Linden security issue, but there are no scripts in it. That's why it's light. There's no HUDs or scripts in the thing, so you don't need to res it to remove the scripts. There are no scripts.
I would like to give a huge random applause to the Welcome Backpack, because I recently had to attend a wedding, at which point I was like, of course, I'll just show up looking like this, what's the big deal, right? At which point I found out, well, tragically, my appearance was not exactly compatible with this particular wedding, at which point I dire needed a replacement as soon as possible. At which point my friend pointed out, well, you got the welcome packs. And I jumped right into one, and would you believe it? The wedding went absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for the welcome pack. It was a literal lifesaver.
The welcome pack Sntax, because it's legacy, most stores already create for legacy. Most stores already create for the heads, etc. So there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of items that work with the welcome pack already. Nobody needs to specifically keep it in mind. Senra, on the other hand, people went out of their way to make for Senra, and that's now moot.
I saw that a lot of people were talking about the fact that they can't wear high heels. Is that what you meant by the feet comments?
They don't need posable feet. They have posable feet if you buy the body. The welcome pack is a starter version. Well, they do, because they get told that at the... Well, okay, they don't know it automatically, but they can find that out pretty easily. we tell them at the Welcome Hub as well. It's one of the things I tell people specifically, that to not go out and buy high heels because they won't work. Well, no, they can also go and buy a different body entirely. Not everybody's going to want to have the legacy body as their SL body. It's chain options. And Senra had flat feet too.
I'm seeing a lot of comments about the way the face looks, the facial expressions. Does anybody have any good examples of facial expressions that they actually really like?
On which body are you talking about?
Just pick whichever one's your favorite.
Or which head, I should say. Oh. Sorry, maybe that's not funny, but...
You would just buy facial expressions separately if you want to use them, if you don't want to actually update and buy a fully functioning head system. It's just a welcome pack. It's not supposed to put all the head and body people out of business. That's the whole point.
Well, imagine I'm literally brand new and I just popped into the Welcome Hub and I said that I wish I could make my facial expression look better. Where would you point me to go take a look at one?
Marketplace, and you could just search bento facial animations and probably a couple of hundred would pop up. Depending on your budget, what you actually need and what you actually want, whether you want adult facial animations or just something to look a bit more natural. If you want something that just moves your mouth when you're talking, I think there's one for 20 Linden that works when you type, things like that.
I guess, too, I know they talked about, well, this isn't really answering your question, but they said that more creators could join into, like, the, that starter pack and what have you, and so it'd be kind of nice if, like, maybe you could talk to Vista or a couple and say, hey, would you be willing to offer a couple simple things that we could add into the creation pack? Because then you could just simply say, hey, there's one in your creation pack to get you started, and then, you know, that would give somebody an instant fix, and then that way then you could say go to Vista or go to Kuso if they still happen to do them, or wherever. Oh, OMY, do they have head animations though in that pack?
They could, but the problem is the welcome pack is not supposed to be fully kitted out, because if you do that, you're going to ruin the economy. So
I mean,
just about to say, I'm a little concerned about unfair advantages and directly competing with stores. I'm a little concerned about that. So I feel like the welcome pack is absolutely perfect as is.
I think so too.
As Sassy pointed out, if you go in the marketplace, you search for animations, head hut, you will get a wide variety of products ranging all the way down from like 50 Ls all the way up to thousands.
Right. I don't know. I don't think that it'd be problematic to have more creators in the welcome pack. Like, for example, you get the Legacy Light version, and that's great. And if you love it, you can go buy the full body. But it wouldn't hurt to have a light version of another body. And if you like that, you can go get it. And I don't think it would, because I'm the head that I have now, and all my Lelutka heads, they're all free. I was never using a Lelutka head before I got the free one from their Christmas gift, and I've never bought one from Lelutka personally. And so I don't think it's going to hurt the marketplace, because you can simply wait until a freebie comes out and grab it that way.
And there's things like, I think, Tudis and Vista, and there's quite a few animations and pose stores that actually have free new resident, or just free, it doesn't matter if you're new or not, AOs and things like that might actually have animation gestures and stuff for the face.
Right.
A lot of people don't care about what their face is doing in the day-to-day unless they're actually doing something like photography or streaming or things like that. Some love it, some hate it. Some use Second Life heads and not mesh heads at all. It's whatever. I always tell people, don't run out and spend all your Lindens, because you might spend the rest of your days as a slice of pie.
This is so true. We need more pie people.
Yeah, exactly. Friend had an avatar that was a table with a slice of pie sitting on it, and she used to go to stores and just stand there, and people just thought she was decor.
I love that.
So I have a follow-up question. If you couldn't tell, I'm thinking through, like, obviously the Avatar Welcome Pack was designed with new people in mind. I'm curious for anyone who may have helped a new person make an avatar or made one for them, especially if they were using the Avatar Welcome Pack. Like, what common problems have you seen, or what other feedback have people said? Like, so for example, I did encounter someone, funny enough, I know in the chat, so I mentioned, like, so the amount of humans. One of the feedbacks I got one time was that they wish that there was more variety in terms of things that weren't exactly a person. And I don't necessarily think we would go back to, like, if people remember the blimp, but yeah, in that vein, I'm curious if you've ever helped someone who's new make an avatar, or even, like, literally, like, made an avatar for them. What are the common problems that you see new people have? And if they use the Avatar Welcome Pack, that would be even better in terms of experience.
Issue is that there's not enough information provided. One of the biggest concerns that we find at the Welcome Hub with the mentors is, one, explaining to people now that their skin is two things. It's a head skin on a tattoo layer usually, and a body skin is on a skin layer, and that they're sold by different stores, and that if you have the SL avatar on, the default avatar, your skin is on the SL UV, but if you wear the Welcome Pack heads, it's their own exclusive UV, and then you end up looking like something quite different. And then that confuses people because there's no information provided. There's no information provided that the body only has flat feet, and that the full version is available to buy in the store, and things like that. Information is lacking.
There's too many steps as well. Last time I held the noob on a newbie, it was before the welcome pack. So I remember we went and grabbed the Legacy Classic kit because it was the most advanced body that you get for free at the time, and everything was made with some kind of confusion, right? Every single step, like, why do I gotta unpack this? Of course, that's the easy one, right? And then you gotta wear the individual bits. It was a body, it was feet, it was a head, there was too many bits going on all of a sudden. You gotta wear a HUD for every one of those too. And then, because of the way the Legacy Classic body worked, you have to manually go and enable for it to be BOM as well. So, like, why do I gotta do that? And the HUD is a media HUD, so you gotta make sure the media is enabled. It just became too many steps. It became too steep of a climb for a new user. So what would happen was that, a couple steps into things, like 5 steps into things, their fuse would have burned out, so to say, and they would be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna look at it another day. Thanks for trying to help, though. But it's
yeah,
like,
they get very upset.
To learn. Yeah.
Also, they are spending money, as Sarah said, and this came up in Discord the other day, the Second Life Discord the other day, and I helped a new resident through the Discord by teleporting her to the Welcome Hub and helping her out. It was a real concern because of exactly what we've talked about in this meeting, is the time and the age of things. She said in Discord that when she went to put on an item, it was just an image. How did she get it to be the item? And I thought that I asked the question, is it on your screen or on your body? And when I teleported her and asked her to put it on, it ended up being something from like the 2007-8s. It was a Nico item. She was wearing the vendor, which was 5 meters by 5 meters, because we didn't have unpacker scripts back then. You used to res boxes on the ground. She can't know that. So she just spent some money on something that was prims and sculpts. So not relevant in this climate. and and didn't know how to unpack it or everything. So we've had people that are spending hundreds of dollars on the wrong head to the wrong body to the wrong skin to the wrong head to the it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for anything designed for newbies, if it's not as simple as right-click, replace, pop, you're done, you're doing it wrong, basically.
It is that easy now with the Welcome Avatar Pack, and the Avatar Welcome Pack is fantastic. However, why is the Create Your Look removed now? You spent months, maybe years, creating that wonderful thing for Senra, and now it's not there. Why did you remove that and not put the Avatar Welcome Pack components into that? Because now you get 16 girls all looking identical landing at the landing point because you're putting them in the one look automatically.
Well, I think I know what you're referring to.
The customizer, I just couldn't think of what the name of it was.
Yeah, the Senra sort of like where you would choose the different types and the different.
That's part of the joining. It's gone.
We didn't completely do away with it. It is still on mobile.
Okay. Can you put it on the desktop?
And then the reason is that we're just really testing things out.
Because the Avatar Welcome Pack is brilliant. Okay, it is brilliant. However, because they're not choosing what they look like when they're coming in, they're all coming in as white girls with their hair on one side, and it's just so random. You've got girls, I took a Gauzo of it the other day because I found it quite amusing, that they look more like clones now than when they were on Senra. And here we go. Oh, no, I can't access that. But anyway, and I realize the customizer is actually gone, but it just needs to be replaced with the Welcome Pack content rather than the Senra content. It would be really helpful for them to understand how their pieces come together. If you actually realize your hair is separate, then you realize you can probably get other hair.
Yeah, and also just to give a little more information, we do have a version. It's not the same thing as how the Senra sort of customizer worked. On the streaming version, just the problem with the streaming version is that people who are existing residents have probably never seen that experience. So a large amount of new people coming through do get one of those pickers. However, we haven't ported that over to the desktop client yet. We did, if you're on the SL viewer, like the SL desktop viewer, there is a version of it that you can access that's kind of similar. But yeah, that is something that we're looking through. We don't particularly have plans, though, to put it on the web via the join.secondlife.com like Senra was originally. We're trying to make it where it's more of an in-world experience.
It's only in the library. Sorry, Sntax. It's only in the library for us because we're older, Sarah. As a new resident, they have their own system folder for the Welcome Pack, which is very helpful to know if you do help new residents, because if you're guiding them to the library and the Avatar Welcome Pack in the library, what's happening is it's just constantly making new copies, whereas they have their own system folder.
I'd like to cut in real quick and say thank you very much for considering making an in-well solution, because that's what I've been thinking this whole time. I've been talking with a couple of other people as well, that currently with the in-well training, when you just join in as a newbie and you just land it and you walk along the first path and your journey, right? I feel like if that training had a more a better, like, in touch with its inventory to kind of promote that the user would explore the options and start to tinker on their own and kind of promote that. I feel like that would be a better introduction as to where currently the user just kind of gets dumped in the land, and then it's, you know, you can go any directions. You can go the right way, you can go the wrong way. It's all up for grabs, right? I feel like that's a little too open-ended, so I'm glad to hear that there is, at least for consideration, some kind of in-world trading being considered.
The videos at the Welcome Hub and everything are outdated now. I mean, there's a whole section for Senra, and Senra's not being used, so it just sends people down rabbit holes that don't exist. It's really unfortunate.
I also feel like we can do a much more immersive experience than, for example, videos, images, and text in general. I feel like we could do a lot more immersive of an experience where, it's easy for me as a scripter to say that we script some kind of timed events, so to say, where like this is the spot where you put on your pants and this is the spot where you put on your sunglasses, type of thing. For me, that's easy to say, but I feel like something more immersive in general would really help promote, solidify the experiences that you can experience in a cell.
That's why I want the content creator, that's why I want the customizer put back on the website, because what was happening, and it was very noticeable for us at the Welcome Hub, was that before Senra, before you put the customizer up, what was happening was people were landing and then they were spending 3 hours standing there in appearance mode or changing between the library outfits, the old ones with the guy in the man bun holding the dog, or the girl with the bag and the hat and blah, blah, blah. And getting very confused. All that needs to be ripped out, by the way, because we've got new residents putting on avatars that won't fit any clothing. And then now, when they were landing with Senra, they weren't spending that time in appearance mode because they'd already chosen their look. They were already looking exactly what they'd picked. And it was amazing to see people just ready to explore SL instead of trying to fix themselves.
I wonder if it would help to have a beginning where someone could say, just let me go into the world, or give me a guided experience, or give me a guided experience with building. And that way, like, you could just go in and do your own thing, or maybe you could walk through the old school thing where you walk in and you choose your avatar, and then you got to cross this little bridge, Resiprim, stretch it out, and now you've made a bridge and you know how to walk across it to get to the other side.
I've always wished that the website would do that, that as you were joining, as you were making your name, for instance, you have no name, you cross a bridge, you make a name, and then the name appears above your head, sort of thing. Or the way we did orientation, you had to put on a shirt and make a thing and talk to the parrot. It was a learning experience before you got to the end. We don't have that now. I agree.
Right.
It would be so special to be able to keep them on the website just a few more minutes and teach them some stuff.
Even if that was in world, you could still sign up on the web and do those things in world, but you could have a choice where you want to start. Like, you just want to go all in, or do you want a guided experience? Because either way, I agree. I like the old hubs where you had to walk along and then you had to jump across the thing and then it released you out into the world.
Also,
I'm a huge fan of that too. Yeah.
It's a good thing to choose because not every new account is a new resident. They could just be an old.
Exactly.
You could just be making it because you just suddenly need an extra avatar for a group because you're just about to release a new region or something like that. There's reasons that you just want to jump that step altogether.
It was a very nice step, I'll give it that. As somebody who makes bot accounts and scripted agents all the time, I feel like it gave me a good reminder of for example, the terms of service, that nice little pop-up and whatnot. It gave me a good connection to the world, that this account has weight, it has value. Just even though it took me like 30 seconds, just jump the things and fly over there and whatnot. I feel like the old introduction regions was spot on. If anything, like if we could extend on those with additional features, teaching them how to change things and use things and build things automatically, I feel like that would be a much safer approach than the more test of patience with volunteers and mentors and whatnot.
I've asked about this before, and I think Sntax, it's a perfect thing for you to think about with Project Zero and everything. But I've asked Brad this as well at the Zoom calls and stuff. I really, really still think, and while I appreciate you adding that line to the username experience when they join, that they understand it is a name, I wish you would allow people to join SL as guests for the first couple of days. I feel like if you had 7 days where you were just guest number 54837, and then you actually explored Second Life and you found your community or something that you were interested, and then you picked your name, I think Second Life would be very different. I think it would be an amazing thing to give people the opportunity to pick their names after seeing what Second Life really is.
I wanted to follow up on something that was said earlier when we were talking about, hey, like when I see a lot of people in the Welcome Hub, because we took the sort of customizer out of the web page, that they're spending a lot of time editing the avatar. So if you're an experienced person, how long do you think, like if you had to start from, if I gave you a brand new account and I asked you like, hey, go make like a really good avatar, like how long do you think that would take?
5 minutes.
10 minutes.
Well, I would
Forever.
say less than an hour because it depends. Like, can I get to the region where I want that free body from, or I mean, depending on what way you want to go. Like, if I wanted to go to Legacy and if it was full, then it might take a little while. But if knowing what I know now, I could go right into the avatar welcome pack, and yeah, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I could have a pretty decent looking avatar
That's
with that knowledge.
the key difference between us as experienced people and a completely new user, for example, because I remember my first time dealing with Bomb, where I literally sat down at a friend's place crying for 5 hours because I'd spent a fortune on an avatar and I had no idea what I was doing or where any other bits went or like how to do anything. It took me 5 hours crying with a friend who was like supporting me and helping me and guiding me through things, right? But these days, 5 minutes. I know all the things, I remember them, you know, they live rent free in my head. 5 minutes.
Honestly, what Callie said there, I mean, yes, that's a problem, but that's always been a problem. So, I don't know how it would make it any worse.
Right. I didn't add the part where I thought if you know what you want to name yourself, you're not going to be walking around as a guest for 7 days. You can just opt in to actually choose your forever name. What I'm saying is it shouldn't be when you don't even know what you're entering. You're choosing this name. I mean, some of the names still come through. Somebody the other day had like a 12-digit number as their name, and it just makes me sad seeing new residents join like that. They don't realize that you can't speak to them. Somebody the other week had the name dumb jockey or something like that, and it's like, I can't call you dumb, right? Like I can't say hello dumb, how are you? You know, it's like they don't realize what our names really mean here.
Yeah, I was very shocked by the answers. I would have expected people to be like, "Oh yeah, it would take me a really long time." A couple of minutes is very surprising.
If you're doing it for another person, it can take a long time. Like it happens at the Welcome Hub where you'll actually have a new resident that needs help because they're they've got money and they want to spend the money and they know that they want to look good, and some of the mentors take them around and stuff like that. The time factor is the understanding. One of the things that we suffer from greatly in Second Life is jargon use is out of control. And we sometimes don't realize it ourselves that what we're saying doesn't make any sense. Redelivery is not a word, right? Okay. And so it's just you've got people that are from different countries. You've got people that, computers might be new to them. When I joined SL, I didn't even know how to copy paste. So, yeah. So all of these things that you're saying to them and you're using the speak that you're used to doesn't make any sense to them. So exactly that. Bomb, slurl. I mean, I have autofill.
Yeah, I mean, Res is easy enough. For any gamer, you can say spawn. So you're spawning the objects in the world.
Yeah, but did you know people don't even know what an IM is? I've come across that at the Welcome Hub where I've said, "Oh, I've sent you an IM." They don't know what an IM is. They think of it as DM. Exactly. So, but I wouldn't know that because my whole world has been Second Life. So I don't DM anywhere outside of, like, I just don't send. If I was going to send a private message to somebody on Facebook, they would be another Second Life user. So I'd still say IM.
We only got a couple of minutes left, and I have a couple more I want to ask. Following up on that last question I had, what would you say would be like the average cost let's say you're not using the avatar welcome pack. What would be the average cost of, like, if you had to start over? Like, if I deleted your account, like, I promise I would never do that. But if I deleted your account and you had to start over, what would you say is the average cost if you had to come back and make a new avatar?
Didn't they work it out that
This one.
it's $50 minimum? Yeah, $50 I think it is. By the time you get a head and a body and a skin and a hair it's about $50 US.
It depends on what you're going for, but yeah, for a fully decked out human avatar, it can get pricey.
I guess too, it
Then-
depends. Like I said earlier, I'm still using the free head. So if you were to do that to me now, knowing what I know, I'd be like, well, I'll just wait until Christmas. Maybe I'll go buy a body, use the free head in the pack, and then I'll go do. I'll wait until I get a gift. But if I was out to go buy all of it, yeah, it would probably be like, I don't know, 3K for a body and 2,500K for a head. And then do you want hair, or are you gonna go bald? I guess.
Yeah, and that's the other thing
Fair
too.
question.
We all grew with mesh. We grew with bodies. So we went from Ruth avatar to feet, and then we had hands, and then we had heads, and then we had bodies, and we grew with each other. We collectively, as Second Life, grew. So even people like furries and robots and cyborg people and people that didn't do the human thing, they were still in the group chats. They were still part of it. So if they did decide to transition, they knew what was going on as well, right? So we all grew together. But you're new, you've got to learn all that instantly. That's tough.
Yeah, I guess too. To answer your question, Sntax, I think it depends on what you're going to be or whatever to figure out costs, because there's definitely some creators out there that have really reasonable priced items, or you could go upstairs and there get an older head. And so that's a tough question, really. It's so relative.
I got this head that I'm wearing right now for 99 Linden at the 50. They've got a male and female head this month for 99 Linden.
Oh, is that AK?
Akaruka. Yeah.
Or Akaruka?
And-
Or
yeah.
Akaruka?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So
Always
there's
lets us learn
ways-
these names and how people
But
pronunciate things.
It is funny when you do voice for the first time, or you do hear somebody. People used to say sassy as Sacy, like it was Tracy, but with an S.
Yeah, I always used to say like Heterocera, and then someone's like, it's Heterocera. I'm like, oh, well, okay.
So we all agree on somewhere between 5 and 20K?
Five is knowledge. You would have to have some serious knowledge, or somebody with you with
Yeah,
serious
5
knowledge
for
to
an
get in
advanced
5.
and
Yeah.
20K for a beginner, I'd say. So they have some flexibility and whatnot, some spending.
Because we're talking outside of the welcome pack, right?
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah.
had to go purchase it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very good point. And I mean, the creators being involved in the welcome pack has been an open sort of invitation, in the sense that they want to expand upon it. It's just they're not there yet, because there's a lot of bells and whistles and red tape and everything you have to go through to get people on board to give over their goods that way. But yeah, in a world, all the bodies would be presented as starting options if they wanted to.
It's kind of interesting that it's cheaper for an advanced user. Is that just because you're so skilled at shopping, like you know where
Yeah.
to go and what kind
Yeah.
of things to
Yeah,
do that can
absolutely.
Yeah.
price down?
You know where to
99
go,
Lindens
you
for the
know
head
who
that
might
I've
have
got on.
sales, and I guess I'd also, the more I think about it, if 5K, it seems like a lot in a way, but then all at the same time, do you want clothes? Because
Like
you know that's
3K
gonna happen.
It's gonna go to the body alone. Like 3K is gonna go to the body alone, depending on the body. I mean, some body stores you might pay 5K for the body alone. You know.
That's true. I think
Then
that's what
there's
Legacy
also-
is. It's 5K.
Yeah, 5K.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is too, it's what I always tell people at the hub, new people, is don't go and buy the body parts first. Go and look at all of the clothing and shoes and hair and everything else out there, and skins, and make sure that your taste then works with the body, because there's no point in going and buying, say, the legacy body, and then you love
Outfits as an
retro.
asset.
Yeah, but if you like retro, vintage, role play community kind of clothing, the chances are it's not going to have the same sort of legacy content for it as it will with another body. Or if you like a really curvy looking avatar and you want to go with the whole bootylicious look, you know, then going and buying a body like that might mean that you're not going to get the clothing, because all the clothing that you like is made for the slimmer version bodies, etc. It's really important to look at what you want to wear after you get your body before you buy your body or head, or, you know,
That's a really
those
good
sorts of
point.
things. Yeah,
Like,
because
I
even
used
what
to
you're
use
wearing
that,
right now, they might only make for one body. I mean, then you'd be out the cost for the body that you bought that's wrong.
You said earlier that you've helped people in the Welcome Hub, like literally put together an avatar. I'm guessing it's like you talk to them over like voice and text, and like try
Voice
to
at
walk
all.
them through, like click this button, do this thing.
Yeah, all in text.
How
I
long do you
don't.
think it
Funnily
normally
enough,
takes
I
someone
don't
to
use
kind of
voice.
figure it out?
It again depends on the person. One, we were at a, and this is, I've done this in customer service too for the 20 years, because I worked for all the big name brands and all of that, so I dealt with this on a constant. But it can depend a lot on what their knowledge is, whether or not they know jargon. A customer that can be 15 years in SL can actually be harder to deal with than a new resident, because a new resident is taking in new information, and an older resident is crying because their flexi ball gown won't work. But it's a lot of understanding how the inventory works as well, how folders work, add and where, whether or not they're using Firestorm, whether they're using the SL viewer. Like, I didn't know for years that you didn't have right-click edit in the SL viewer versus right-click edit is in Firestorm. So you tell a customer to right-click and edit, and they don't know what you're talking about, but they don't communicate with you that they don't know what you're talking about. So
yeah.
That was my biggest experience, like in helping people. It doesn't matter what I was helping with, but a lot of times in a group chat, people would be like, do this, and do this. And I would end up actually, you know, helping, but I would pull them out and like invite them to where I was and like, let's start over. Like, what viewer are you using? Let's start at step A before we have all these step Z things, because it's all wrong information if you can't, like you said, like if you can't see the button, if you can't right click at it or what have you, then it's all for nothing. It's all just noise.
I also love the welcome pack for the basis that it's taken away the whole, you have to have a mesh body, you have to have a mesh head, this forced bullying that people used to do, this peer pressure thing that was very, very evident in SL, where people were just demanding that people went out and did all these things. And then it became very biased. They would tell them that they had to buy this particular body or this particular head. And then those people would just be completely lost without that person and that information. So I find that a lot of people don't actually ask new residents what it is they have actual interest in. Somebody could be joining because they want to sit on a rock and listen to live music, and that's it. They'll stay in the avatar they put on day one. 15 years later, they'll still be in that avatar. They have no interest in shopping. They have no interest in looking this way or that way.
Got me.
Yeah. So I wish people would just take that out.
Not spending $20,000 on an avatar. You pleb.
At least.
Yeah, exactly. And it's bullying and peer pressure in a way, but now because the avatar welcome pack, they look as the same as everybody else instantly, because Senra it didn't do that. It did a good job, but it didn't do a great job. Now there's a great job. Now they're just ready to go and get dressed, and find other looks for that. So it takes that peer pressure bullying out of the equation now, which I like.
Do you feel
Yeah,
like
there's
most
still
people
some of
who
that,
move here
sadly.
are trying to
But
do like things with their avatar, like, or is it really
Yeah.
more like a lot of new people are like, oh, I'm just here to kind of talk and meet people, and then
Mm.
I'll figure out my avatar later.
No, they still tend to do the look at their avatar, and what I find really unfortunate, as I said, you guys need to clean out the library. I understand archiving, and I love history as well as the next person, but I will stand there and watch these new avatars, new residents change into the avatars that they cannot wear anything with because they're all Ruth defaults. So the whole carousel that you used to have on the website that used to let them choose from like 20 avatars, they can still change into that, and they change into that in front of me. Then they don't know how to go back to the welcome avatar welcome pack, or they don't realize that if they like the look of the little punk raver girl, I love her with her little rolled up shorts and her boots and her, I love her, right? She's awesome. But they won't be able to dress her. They won't be able to go and buy a top at a shop because she's not insert name of body here.
actually,
So
though,
it's rabbit
I don't-
holing again.
I don't want to like. Well, you're right, but then also like my mainland in Hera, there's a huge place behind me, and it is all old classic stuff. So it's, I don't want to say, yes, somebody could come in and they could choose that old avatar, and there is a lot of stuff that they could go get. I mean, maybe we don't know where it all is because we don't shop there, but there are tons of places that still
Right.
sell and have their old stores up from years ago. And so
Right,
it
and
might
I-
not be that current thing, but yeah, it's hard.
I
See, that's
understand,
the
and,
thing,
and
right? That's the
hold,
thing, a
hold
lot of
on
new
one second.
players.
One second. One of my whole things on my blog is everything old is new to somebody. So I 100% agree. But what I'm saying is they don't realize it in the moment. They don't realize that they love her, but it will limit them. I'm not saying don't be her. I'm saying you need to have the knowledge. And if you don't have the knowledge and there's nobody there to tell you the knowledge, then you don't know about the stores that you can go to. You don't know that standard sizing will fit Senra. Do you know what I mean? Like without that history.
Right. It's also relative, really.
See, that's the thing. Like, I used to be a mall rat. I used to hang out at a place called Freebie Galaxy all the time, and we would get tons of noobs, hundreds a month, right? Lots of noobs popping in now and then, checking out what they could do with the classic avatars. And I found out that the majority of these newbies, like the proper newbies, not just people making alls, the proper newbies, they are there because they don't know the options, they don't know the potential, they don't know what they could be doing, and they end up at a place like Freebie Galaxy where they kind of make something that they visualize. They kind of try to make their dreams come true. Like it's a wholehearted attempt. I'll give it that, but they don't see the possibilities because they don't know the possibilities. They don't know there's better bodies, better mesh, better clothing, better possibilities in general, right? And that's where usually I would jump in and try to teach them these things. Try to show them better bodies, better materials, because I understand, yeah, sure, you could be balling on a budget for the rest of your life in SL, but you can also advance and upgrade a bit.
I always said
Right.
that everybody
Well,
deserves their
but,
sexy schoolgirl and bling shoes moment.
This has been fascinating. Sassy, I think I might come hang out with the mentors a little bit in the future. What time are you normally there?
I can be there anytime you want me to be there.
Anytime?
And,
Even, like
are you-
3 in the morning?
Ooh.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I wake up for all these meetings at 4 and 5 a.m. my
Yeah, that's a
time.
fair point.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been a lot of fun. I'm happy to come back. And
No
talk to y'all.
worries. Thanks. You can get me on Discord anytime too. I think I tried to friend you there once.
Yes, living in
Okay, I'll take a look.
DMs.
Sassy has a partner for 18 years in SL. Thanks. Don't try and give me a new one.
All right, thank you all so much.
Thanks,
This is really
Juniper.
good feedback. We'll
I
see
came
you
in late,
again.
but thanks all. It was cool.
I feel like Juniper didn't get her moment in the sun though. Could you stay with us for another 10, 15 minutes?
Oh, she shared some amazing updates from the marketplace, I believe.
I have no beginnings. I was actually taking notes the whole time, so
Okay.
don't worry about me. And I'm
Oh, did
prepping.
you get the last meeting I mentioned right at the end of the meeting about the charities being added to the website?
Yeah,
Did
Kermit
that
and I
happen?
brought that up.
Discussion wise, I mean.
Yeah. Kermit and I were discussing that. I have to. We like brought it up to some people, but I have to follow up with them and see because you're right. The winter holidays are coming, and we should probably keep that in mind. But yeah, we were talking about that.
That's awesome because it would make. I mean, it makes me sad when we are at the Welcome Hub and we do say some of the great things that Second Life does. It's not just this or that. You know, the charity events and stuff. People are genuinely so surprised, and it makes me sad that they're surprised that we don't have any of that. You know, notoriety out there in the world. That we do great things for charities all year long.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think it was an idea. We just need to like push on it, and so thank you for reminding me.
No problem.
Okay, all right. I will talk to you all later. Thanks, and have a good Halloween. If I don't see you all till then.
You too. Have a great Halloween.
Happy
Bye.
Spooktober.
Yeah.
Spooky Toper.
Happy Easter. Slow down, Turbo.
I actually saw Halloween decorations on a house the other day, and I was like, are they serious? Because 2 levels. 1, it's Australia, and 2, it was September. Like, not only was it early, but it's the wrong country. We don't. I mean, we don't do Halloween. I actually had kids turn up at my door once. I had moved house, and they turned up at my door to trick or treat, and I was so mortified. I gave them all money because we just don't do it here.
You're like, I got some Vegemite. Here you go.
They would have had their own Vegemite because they're Australian. So I
Okay,
just
okay,
gave them
alright.
money, and then I prayed that they wouldn't tell all the kids in the community that I was giving out money. So yeah, there was it was sort of bad. So now I buy a couple of bags of things just in case it ever happens again because it's a scary thing.